Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am outside beside the house up on top of the fifth wheel right now, and I am going to install an RV soft start on the AC unit. Thought I'd have you guys come along and see how this is done. Now I have Dometic AC units, if you've watched the thermostat video that I posted a little bit ago, you'd know that, but I'm going to show you how to do this on the Dometic HVAC units. So currently I have the top off, as you can see, and now I'm going to take off this foam piece. That's the sealer that keeps all the air inside the evap coil. So let's get this started. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. Alright, so basically all this does pops up. There's some sealant around over here that we're going to reseal all this back up, but it pulls up in straight up, and it reveals our evaporative coil and our controls box. So we're going to get the wires over here out of the way. And I'm sorry, I'm a one-man show, so hopefully you can kind of see what's going on here, hopefully. So basically we get the wires out of the way here, and then this comes straight up and gives you a way to get at the box here. So what I'm also finding in here, and this is typical of RV manufacturers, is a lot of sawdust. So we're going to take a couple of minutes, and I'm going to turn the camera off while I do this, but we're going to get all this vacuumed up. I did bring a vacuum up with me so that I could get this all cleaned off. And then we're going to walk you through all the different components in here so everybody understands exactly what everything is. So I'll be right back. Alright, so now that we got this all cleaned out, I want to show you something else I found. And that is this mess right here. Now, this is the evaporative coil, and this is the supply fan for the inside of the unit. Sorry, supply fan, evap coil. And so the air returns through here, pushes through this coil, flows this way, and then goes down in there. Again, this is typical of RV manufacturers. What this is going to do is this is going to cause a lot of disturbance in the airflow of an RV HVAC system. And I'll bet you dollars to donuts, if you have a Keystone product, this is what you're going to find. And I got a motorcycle going around behind me, so hang on for the sound. So we're going to get this cleaned up right now, because a lot of this wiring here has nothing to do with this HC unit. This does, of course. These are control wires that go to the thermostat downstairs. This is the main power wire that I have my hand on right here. The rest of this is if I installed, say, a Coleman or a different type of HVAC unit, these would be control wires that I could use for that. Well, we're not going to use that, so we're going to go ahead and stuff all this stuff back down in there to the side and provide a much better way for air to flow down into the duct, because it goes this way, and this is a little bit ridiculous. So I will show that to you as we get along. So let's go ahead and work on getting the soft start hooked up. Okay, so we are back, and I'm kind of getting an idea of probably mounting the soft start box. This is the soft start box. Now, it does have some wiring diagram on the front, but we went on to Soft Start RV by Network RV and downloaded the wiring diagram. So, but I do believe we are going to mount this probably right about there. It'd be probably a good place to put it, and that way we can run this to the other side and up and in. But let's go ahead and get the box open so I can show you what the inside looks like. This is an 8mm socket. before we touch anything, these two components right here are the capacitors. And these capacitors store electricity. So it is critical for electrical safety that, number one, that the breakers get turned off. But before you put any kind of a meter on this, you're going to discharge this capacitor. And you're going to do it from both sides. So we're going to put this down, right down in the center, and touch a ground. Same way with the other side. Touch ground. Then we're going to do this with the other capacitor. This is the hotter capacitor. All right, make sure we're grounding this out. Okay, so we're all dead, and now we're going to make sure that there's no voltage. So we have our meter, and we're going to put this on here. Put this to ground. Okay, that's dead. And that is dead. So everything is good. Now that we're done with that, we're going to put the meter back in its pouch. And then we're going to take, there's a band down in here. Let's see if I can show that to you. This band, I'm going to loosen up this band because we're going to remove the start capacitor. That's the smaller of the two capacitors. And I'm going to show you something that I found on the other one, because I did put the other one together. I just wanted to make sure that that was all set up before we did this one, just to make sure I did it right. So, but we're going to remove this capacitor altogether. I'm going to hang on to it in case I have to put it back in there. But I'm going to show you something that bothers the heck out of me. So let's go ahead and start with that. We're actually going to cut that band out of the way because it's going to be in the way. Zip tie. We'll put a zip tie back here when we're all done. Let's get this out of the way. So we'll break out the directions and we'll do this a little bit at a time, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this band up and get it so I can get at these two capacitors. Now these aren't like, if you've ever been or ever had a car, an older car from the 60s, maybe early 70s, that had an old points ignition. The little capacitor in the distributor, we used to have fun with that. We used to load it up with electricity via the spark plugs and then throw it to somebody and they'd grab it and it'd shock them. In this case, you don't want to do that. So this particular, okay, so let me just reiterate what we're doing here. We're going to mount the soft start right here, and we're going to put the wire for the soft start in this. Basically, it's the same type of wire chase or protector you use for automotive products. And then we're going to go through and we're going to show you everything that's going on in here. So I wanted to get the soft start. This is the soft start box. And I'll leave a link to the soft start. Sorry for all the automotive sounds, the car sounds. Can't be helped. Okay, so now that we've got the soft start box where we want it, that's right here. We're gonna mount it right here. We're gonna run the wire around to the other side. And again, I apologize for the camera work here. We're gonna bring this around to the other side. And there's this hole over here. We're gonna run the wire up and in. Get it. Okay, so let's look at the components here. Now, see if I can pull this out of the way here. If I can get this out of the way here. Start capacitor, run capacitor. Now, before we start pulling any wires off, we're going to discharge them, make sure that there's no electricity in there. And this is fairly simple to do. We're going to take this wire, we're going to touch the output of the capacitor and ground it. Same way with this capacitor, the output, which is down here, and ground it. And you can do the same thing with the input just to make sure, and then after that we're good to go. The breakers are turned off, so we know there's no voltage. The next thing you want to do to make sure there's no voltage is break out the meter. And this is just being safe, guys, just being safe. And checking to make sure we have no voltage. Good. 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 And good. Okay, no voltage. So we'll put this out of the way. Okay, so the first step is, first of all, let's talk about the components here. This is the compressor over here. This is the supply fan for the inside of the rig. That's the condenser fan and the condenser coil. And this is the evaporative coil. And this is the box, the control box. This is the control board. And now we're going to start wiring this thing up. We loosened up the band down here because we're going to end up taking out the start capacitor. Okay, so let me show you a little bit more about how this is all wired up. So I kind of want to get in here a little bit and show you this run capacitor. It's usually the larger of the two. If you'll notice, I removed the start capacitor. Let me show you what that looked like. And I'm going to hang on to it, but I decided to take it out. So this is the start capacitor. You'll see it's smaller than the run capacitor, but they do provide a heck of a lot of voltage. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you see how this connector here is all black. The insulator is all black, and it got hot, and I don't really like that. So I've decided to keep this one out. We'll put it back in if we really need it, but I'll hang on to it in case that's the case. So now on the run capacitor, you got two connectors. You got the Herm side, which is this side, and then you got C side, which is this side. So now wiring this up together, we're going to follow the directions. Let me get the camera situated here. Alright, so first off, we disconnected the white wire that goes out to the compressor and connected it to the blue wire from the soft start. Now you see the soft start is sitting right here, and I've got the wires running from the soft start up into the box over on this side, and I like to keep it clean. Okay, the next thing is we're going to connect the black soft start wire to the terminal that the white compressor wire was on, which was the C side. So if you look at the directions, you'll see it was on the C side. So that means that we connect the black wire to the C side, which is this side right here. Okay. And then the next one is connect the yellow soft start wire on the terminal next to the red compressor wire. Here's the red compressor wire right here, and here's the yellow soft start wire. We connected it right there. Now, if you see a second red wire, which was this one, they want you to disconnect it. Well, I disconnected it and took it out. Remove the compressor cap. Now the compressor is that unit right over here. Let me get a little closer to it so you can see it. That's this cap right here. Now if I were to take this off, I would find a blue wire running all the way in to here. That's this blue wire right here. So we're going to kind of change the direction just a little bit, because I don't want to run a wire all the way out there to the cap. I'd rather do it right here in the box. It makes it a lot cleaner. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take that wire that would have been running, that would have been connected to the cap, and that is the brown wire on a pigtail. So we're going to take the brown wire right here, and we're going to connect it to this wire right here, the blue wire, and then we're going to tape it up. So let me set the camera down here so I can do this. I can't do it with one hand. All the way down in there. We're going to tape it up. Okay, so the final wire that we're going to hook up is this one right here. Now that one's all connected up in there. This right here is the contactor for the compressor. It turns on the compressor. There's a set of contacts in there that start the compressor. So now we've got everything hooked up. This was the red wire from the soft start. Whoop. So we got the red wire from the soft start hooked up here. The only other thing that the other unit has is it has a heat pump, and that wire comes off of right here if this was a heat pump unit, and then you just need to connect a hot lead to it, which you can take right off of the compressor. Alright, now that we've got all this situated and everything is wired up properly, we're just going to double check it one more time. So let's start here. We're going to start with the directions. We're going to start with the red wire. Now the red wire needs to go to the contactor. That's correct. The brown wire needs to go out to the compressor on the blue line. That is correct. The blue wire needs to go to the white wire, the compressor wire. Okay, that's the blue wire. The black wire needs to go to the C side of the run capacitor, that's correct. And then the yellow needs to go to the Herm side of the compressor. Now that's correct. All right, now that we got all that done, all right, there it is. See how we've got that all buttoned up? And you're probably wondering, how the heck did he get down there and do that? That's with this little DeWalt 90-degree. Works like a champ. Okay, so let's get the cover put back on. And we'll get this fired up. Okay, it's on. And we're gonna watch these little LEDs down here. We're good, thank you. That's fine. Okay. All right, so we're all done. We got the cover back on. We got both units up and running. The one in the back has actually got some condensate running off of it right now, so that's a good thing. And everything's gonna run for about another half an hour just to make sure everything is running correctly. So if you have any comments or suggestions, don't hesitate to let me know. I love comments and suggestions. I'm not perfect, and I definitely know that I've still got lots to learn, even at my age. So with this project over and complete, we're looking forward to getting out and doing a little boondocking with these soft starts on here so we don't lose a whole ton of battery real fast. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to be out there and not hooked up to power. So we're going to be going here in the next couple of weeks. We have a challenge right now to fix. I'll share that with you a little bit later. But other than that, we sure appreciate you guys coming along, and we appreciate you watching these videos. We love doing them. So don't hesitate to give me some comments or suggestions. I love suggestions and comments. Helps me learn too when other people help me to understand what I might be missing. So please don't hesitate to send me an email if you want to at rvweekenders.com, and I'm happy to respond to you there, or leave a comment down below. So I will leave a link to the soft start. I got them from Techno RV. Eric and Tammy are awesome people. I love doing business with them. I am an affiliate with them, so I'm going to leave a link down below, and I appreciate if you do business with them. That would be great help to us as well. So take care. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that bell, and we'll see you guys on the road. Thanks a lot.